Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. I'm your host Ben and it's time for your Monday through Friday episode of The Last Rip, where we take a look at top gainers on the Nasdaq and NYSE, especially the low floats, and recap any trades that I took on the day. And today I took a few. But we'll dive into that later. First, let's take a look at the SPY. S&P 500 coming out the gate hot and then coming out the gate dropping blood red, dropped all the way down to 431 and then rebounded the rest of the day up to hit a new high. So we are still climbing on the SPY. With that pullback yesterday and then this pullback today, it was looking like it might get a little bleak, but once again, as long as there's money being pumped into the markets, they can keep climbing. And nobody knows where the top will be at. It's hard to judge the top. If everybody could do it, then everybody would be rich, right? So we'll see. I get more skeptical every day that the market continues to push for new highs, and I could be totally wrong. Everything just does not add up to make sense for the market to continue to climb like it is. It's been a little while, and we're starting to get off of this 50-day quite a bit. Every time we've gotten off of the 50-day, we pull back to the 50-day. Even here, this was a big jump up there, and it pulled back to the 50. So maybe we've got a little bit more run left, and then we're going to pull back. Hard to say. We'll see. But I'm expecting at least a correction back to this 50-day moving average in the next couple of weeks. On to the Nasdaq. XELA, this dirty little bugger here. This is a trade I took. All the trades I took today were on Street Smart Edge. So I'll show you guys the wins and losses there. I lost on XELA. It dropped. And then I was trying to get in there looking forward to continue to rip here. And it dropped again. Little fake out there. But then it ended up the rest of the day climbing all the way to 320. So it is one to still keep on watch. It's got, if it can break this 350 area, it's got room up to 4. And if it breaks 4, then there's not a lot other than 5 to stop it from going any higher. And we've seen here in the past, it can rip. ONCS was another trade I took. I got in a little high. I would say on this one, I bought at the $4 break, and it just popped up to like $4.25 and then came right back down. So I didn't lock any profit in. I was expecting a push at least to the pre-market high of 446 and didn't even get that and just selling off the rest of the day. It looked good there for a minute. It even had a nice crossover of the 20-day over the 100 and the 50-day. You can see actually where on the daily the 100 and the 200-day are both kind of in that area. They're not really anything to keep an eye on because this is an ugly candle and that is a lot of selling above this stock's price. So Newegg had more PR. They're offering on-demand custom PC assembly. Plus, this is one that looks like the social media traders, the Wall Street bets and Reddit peeps got a hold of it. FOMO kicked in. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's the fear of missing out. And basically, it's some type of emotion that traders get when they see a rip start happening like this and they have to jump in. They can't help it. They're like, oh my God, this thing's going to the moon. This thing's going to rip. I'm going to be so rich. Lambos, girls in bikinis. And they just jump in there. Sometimes it works out for them. Other times you can get absolutely destroyed. So the people who bought at the top up here at $70, they got absolutely destroyed. And I guarantee there was people who did that. So you never want to fall victim to FOMO. If something's already ripped pretty big and you don't see any areas of consolidation to get into, just let it go. There's going to be other rips. There'll be other massive rips like this. In my 7 years of trading, I see them, plenty of them. This is nothing new that's happening in the stock market. Okay, so don't worry if you missed out on Newegg. We can still keep it on watch. It has held its gains all the way through after hours, so we'll see where it opens up tomorrow at, but being up this high on the chart, way off of these EMAs, I would expect a pullback tomorrow for sure. If it doesn't and continues to rip, that would be pretty insane. But that FOMO could continue, and the FOMO on social media is real. DTST, nothing really there. Just started climbing in after hours yesterday through pre-market, then sold off the rest of the day. DGBI was a ripper from last week. I actually think I talked about this one this morning in the live stream, and it ripped in after hours. So if you swung trade this or got in this today and held it, very nice job. You're up pretty good. Possibly could open tomorrow above this downtrend, and we could see it rip back up to test that 750. So DGBI on high alert. VVOS, they had some positive data. I think this was another one I traded, but it had a big pre-market jump. I was looking for it to pop some more, and it didn't really pop. It got a quick pop right there at market open and then sold off the rest of the day. So the trend of the Nasdaq having all the volume is still continuing. A little bit more volume today though on the NYSE. BTU getting a climb up. This is one of those energy stocks, but making a nice move, bouncing off of that 20-day right there. Could have been a perfect entry, running from 830 up to 1054. Energy stocks keep ripping, so you got to keep your eye on any energy stocks that are popping up with volume. ALF came out with some more PR. They've been coming out non-stop with PR the last couple of weeks and continuing to rip. Today made a nice move from that 15 area up to 18. So we could definitely keep this one on watch. It is in a downtrend, but break of that $18, we could see it back over 20 pretty easily. It's so far holding the 20-day moving average. As long as it holds that 20-day, it could remain real bullish. But if it does crack this 20-day, there's this big gap between the 20 and the 50. So keep that in mind. That's a lot of air there that this could drop down. IPW, just a consumer discretionary stock getting a run up. It kind of just sold off with the market the last 2 days. And just getting some buying back in there, pushing it up. Looks like it's a newer IPO, so could be one to keep an eye on for possible more moves now that it's back above the EMAs. Low float, 26 million. Yeah, we'll throw that up there in the watch list. That could be something this week. So BON was one that we've been keeping an eye on since last week, and it had a big move up. So if you got any of this big gap up where it got halted on the way up and then opened up out of this halt, $2-3 higher, which is not normal, you made some nice profits there. So this is one to keep on watching because it is above all EMAs. Newer IPO climbing up the 20-day. So the other stock I traded today is not on the top gainer list, but I traded VRPX. It was making a nice little climb above that 20-day. Got in there near the 20-day moving average, and this thing just kept ripping, getting halted on the way up. You go to the 5-minute chart, you can really see the halts, multiple halts on this. And I sold up here at 750 after fumbling around with my all-in-one tool here. But here's the trades I took today. ONCS, $15 loss. RCAT, the swing trade, a little $11 loss from last night. VXRT, 1843 loss. XELA.DAY, 975 loss. And then the win that made up all these losses and my loss for yesterday, VRPX, $87 there. That's why you got to keep your stop losses tight, because 1 for 5 and I was profitable on the day. So that's it for the stocks I'm going to cover today. We'll be back tomorrow morning for some more live stream day trading. Come join us if you haven't joined us yet. It's a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.